Welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do your bonus reading for June. After that, you've got next door to it also your love reading for July and your general reading for July as well, okay? So for this reading I haven't used this set before. I've had it about a few months actually. I think a good 6 months or so. I think I bought it December 2017. Never used it. Actually, I didn't like this deck before when I looked at it. I thought, oh, I'm not keen on it. The colours are just too similar and everything gets meshed into one. But taking another look at it, I thought, oh, let me use this one today. Let me use it. So it's the Fenestra Tarot by, what's the name? Chat Ria. Actually, it's quite nice when I looked at it again. So it took me a few months to kind of look at it again and think, oh, it's not too bad. We're going to use this, and we're using the Tarot to Go as your clarifiers. I'll only clarify in certain areas though, and I'll use one of these Angel Answers or the Romance Angels as your advice card afterwards, okay? The bonus reading we've got for you today is what is blocking you from finding true love. Some of you guys might be in relationships, but you might not be happy in those relationships. It might not feel like true love. Some of you guys might be single. So this is just directed to anyone who feels, whether you're in a relationship or not, anyone at all who feels that they haven't found true love. What's blocking you from finding true love, okay? This is your reading for that. So we'll put these other cards to the side, and we're going to open up this deck here. We'll take it out. If I can get it out. There we go. Geez, probably I should have taken this out before. There we go. And we'll put that to the side there. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the Fenestra. It's actually quite a nice deck. But this is, I have a lot of decks of cards. I'm always buying them. I love just different decks. So, Universe Spirit, show me what's blocking. What's blocking, what's today, is it? What is blocking Geminis from finding true love? What's blocking them from having true love? What's blocking Geminis from having true love? Show me in this 11 card reading. What's blocking Geminis? For those that feel that they are blocked, this is for those who feel that they are blocked from finding true love. What's blocking them? What's stopping Geminis from finding true love? Show me. What's blocking Geminis from finding true love? Show me. So remember, this is a bonus reading. It's not what's blocking you from finding true love in June or anything like that. It's just simply what's blocking you from finding true love. So we're going to split the deck into 3 like so. 1, 2, 3. We're going to collect that back up like so. And I need to turn the cards around this way, guys. Okay, so you get to see the cards, okay? The way that was shuffled, because the camera's pointing down this way. So 1, this is your present situation, what's going on with you right now. This is you as a significator, so who you are right now as a person. This is your challenge. What's challenging you. Usually you find a challenge position impacts on what's going on in the present. And this is the root cause, why everything is happening. This is the recent past, and this area here is what's most likely blocking you from finding true love. It's there, okay? Let's just move this up a little bit, see if we can just move these cards up a little bit here. Alright, this is how you're feeling about stuff in the immediate future, and this is how you're approaching your love lives right now, in this area here. This card is how your ex-lovers or how your lover sees you. This is your hopes or desires, hopes, fears or desires, and this is the overall advice and the outcome of how you find true love. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, that's laid out all right, isn't it? Looks quite nice. So, let's have a look. There we go. Let's pull this up here. And as I said, we'll use these clarifiers. I'm not going to put them on all because I don't want this reading to be too long. So what's the focus for you? Let's have a look at how you're at. Let's have a look. Where should we go first? We'll go here. We'll have a look at how you guys are approaching your love life at the moment. Well, you're approaching it temperance in the reverse. Temperance reverse means to feel unbalanced. You're not balanced enough in terms of how you're approaching your love lives at the moment. So it might be that right now, the temperance energy reversed in the upright is a card that indicates balance and harmony. So you might, if this was upright with the temperance energy, you might be approaching your love lives in a very balanced way. You might be approaching, say for example, the type of person you go for, the type of lover you want in your life. You might be seeking love in a very balanced way, from a place of feeling very balanced and feeling that you are feeling a sense of completion within the self. Does that make sense? So temperance is all about, especially when it's to do with the self, it's to do with finding harmony and balance within the self. So it doesn't mean that things are perfect, it just means I feel okay with how I am, how I feel about myself and how I'm approaching the world at large. So if I'm temperance and I'm looking for love, then I'm going to be in a place where I know exactly what it is that I want. Okay, I'm kind of okay with it. I feel very balanced in terms of what I'm looking for. I know that love isn't perfect, but I'm looking for a particular type of person. I'm coming from a place of balance, so that means that I'm going to attract probably more of what I want rather than what I don't want. But in the reverse, you're approaching your love life from an air of feeling. So some of you guys, it might be that you are feeling quite unbalanced as a person right now. It might be that if you're approaching love from the temperance in the reverse place, it might be that you're approaching your love lives in terms of maybe there's some anger issues going on here. Maybe there's some frustration going on here with the temperance energy being reversed for some of you guys. Now, as a result of that, the focus for you guys right now in terms of your love lives is the Magician. That's interesting. So the Magician, when it comes to love, represents taking action, being proactive, taking control. When you get the Magician, you're the manifester. So right now, what you're experiencing, your present situation says that you're in a place where you're starting to manifest things. And if you're coming to love from the area of temperance in the reverse, then likelihood you're going to be manifesting probably the wrong things into your life, because this is probably the most important part of the reading, because it says, well, how are you approaching your love lives? If you're single, how are you looking for love? Which position are you coming from? Because this is what you're experiencing. This is where the focus is right now for you. But it's as a result of how you're approaching finding love, or how you're approaching your love life. If you're in a relationship, how you're approaching that relationship is from a place of imbalance. So there's probably likelihood to be some unhappiness here. If you're single, then again, you might be looking for love in all the wrong places. And as a result of that, you're experiencing around you the Magician. Things starting to manifest. They're starting to show themselves as a result of this imbalance. So I don't think that this can be a good area, these two cards here. Because your challenge is the Hermit, isolation. Often the Hermit reversed I read as somebody who's isolated themselves a little bit too much. So your challenge is isolation, but it might be that your challenge is somebody isolated themselves from you with the Hermit reversed. Because Hermits reversed often mean, when it comes to love, that you isolate yourself through hurt and through anger and through hate. So this person has been greatly hurt, and what they've done is they've just completely drawn back. So the blockage looks like it's already starting for some of you guys. It looks to me like you're approaching love from a place of imbalance. And as a result of that, you're starting to see negativity for some of you guys starting to manifest through the eyes of the Magician. Through what you put out with temperance in the reverse is what you start to manifest and draw in with the Magician in the upright in the present situation. Because your challenge is some of you guys have really cut yourself off from love with the Hermit energy. Some of you guys think you're not going to have love probably with the Hermit energy in the reverse. Some of you guys aren't seeking that new love, or seeking ways in which you can find fulfillment in terms of maybe possible relationships that you're still in. Or if you're on your own, you say, I'm not going to seek love anymore. In the upright I read the Hermit as the seeker. In the reverse I see him as being isolated, highly isolated actually. So some of you guys are probably cutting yourself off from the idea of love here, because you're approaching love from a very imbalanced position of the temperance energy, and things, because you're so imbalanced, what you'll find is a lot of people say, oh, I'll never find love, and you know, I don't believe in love anymore, I've been hurt so much and all the rest of it. What I don't realise is that, you know, life, you know, life and death is in what you speak. So if you speak those words, it's more than likely, there's no point in saying stuff and not really believing it. So if you're saying, I'm never going to find love, I don't trust men, I don't trust women, I don't trust this, you know, I don't trust people, then more than likely you're either going to manifest more distrust into your life, or you're not going to manifest anyone at all, anyone good. So it looks to me like you're manifesting exactly what it is you're saying. There's a lot of self-talk, I think, going on here. The reason why everything is happening is because of a King of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is a liar, not just a liar, this is somebody who has no intention. There's a saying that came from Bob Marley. My twin sister's a very clever lady, highly intelligent. She doesn't even do tarot, but she's given me a lot of ideas for these cards as well. But she was telling me a saying once. It was funny because this was about a year ago that this happened, that I was seeing someone who ended up being, I forgive him, I've moved on, I hope he's happy in his life, all the rest of it. God bless him, I hope he's found the perfect woman for him. He wasn't for me, wasn't up my street, but he reminds me of this saying, and the saying is, a man who gets with a woman with no intention of loving her is not a man. You know, a man who, you know, who fuels a woman's imagination and tells her all of this stuff, how he's going to be with her and how he's going to do this and how they're going to do that. But really, deep down, they've got no intention at all of doing any of those things. Bob Marley said he's not a man, and it's true, because this is not a man when he's reversed. For some of you guys, the person could have left as well. Kings reversed mean people leave. Queens reversed mean people leave. But so this person could have left. The root issue could be that somebody left. King of Pentacles reversed. But also the King of Pentacles reversed could be somebody whose desires were not to settle down, not to have a traditional relationship. Might have been money orientated, were this person's motivations in this relationship with you, Gemini. Might be with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. All he wanted was sex, because remember, Pentacles are also sexual cards as well. Pentacles represent desires, so when you get a Pentacle card, often this can be, especially when you get like a Pentacle reversed, something like a Queen of Pentacles, she might have a sugar daddy, for example, somebody who's richer than her, she might like to get taken care of, she might give her body for money, can be a prostitute reversed, for example. King of Pentacles reversed, again, somebody who's all about the desires. Pentacles are not just about money and wealth, they're also about our desires, funnily enough, as well. So they're about being a slave to your desires. This person likes wine, women, song, food, meat, good wine, good cars. He's all about the material, and the material is also sex as well. So he's a slave to his desires when he's reversed as well. And I think that this person in the reverse had no intention, I think, of settling down at all. The root issue is somebody let you down here. This King of Pentacles, he or she either walked away, or their motives were not to settle down. Okay, their motives were probably either something to do with money, or they were just really just to have a good time, sex, that type of thing, but nothing more than that. Now, as a result of that, in the recent past, you guys, Three of Coins, you've been probably focusing on your work. For example, with this Three of Coins energy, because the Three of Coins energy is all about work and focusing on projects, for example, and completing projects. So I think that as a result of this, some of you guys have been very focused on your work here, because the challenge is if you've completely isolated yourself and you said never again, because right now you're coming to love from a place of imbalance. So what you're saying with the Temperance, and also I think that just looking at the spread so far, I think what's happening here with some of you gems as well, Gemini, is that the Temperance card says how you're approaching your love life is not just from a place of disharmony, but it's also saying there's a place where you haven't forgiven. Okay, there's no healing with a Temperance card in the reverse. So you're still, some of you guys are still feeling probably very ill about this situation. You're not well, you don't feel good about it. It's still lingering on you. So I'm seeing blockages here, here, and here for sure. Now, who are you as people at the moment? What's your significator card? Who are you? You're the Four of Wands reversed. So there's a lot of instability going on with you guys, and also a lot of unhappiness with this Four of Wands in the reverse showing up here. The Four of Wands in the upright represents joy, happiness. This represents parties, weddings, invitation, holidays. But in the reverse, this suggests an air of unhappiness and an air of insecurity and instability in your life. So you might be feeling unstable at the moment, but that's because you're approaching your love life with the temperance energy happening here, reversed from a place of disharmony. You don't feel good about love, I think, for some of you guys. But then as a result of that, what you're finding is that as a result of this kind of disharmony in terms of the self and how you look at love right now, because this is how you're looking at love really, right now, from the place of temperance reverse, a place of imbalance. So there's a lack of trust here because of what this person did to you. You're starting to see things are manifesting in that way. So if you feel a sense of insecurity, or there's a lot of distrust with you concerning love, I think it's going to start to show. It's starting to show. It's starting to manifest. Things are manifesting in that way for you, because you seem to, this is a blockage card, the Hermit. But usually, remember, there are 4 types of reversals you get. One of them is a blockage reversal, and that's you, because you are imposing your own blockages. So you're isolating yourself from love. You're not looking for it. A lot of you guys aren't. You don't trust. A lot of bitterness has made some of you guys hold back a little bit. It's because of what this dude here did. But you guys, your saving grace is you focus on your work in the recent past. But as a significator card, there's a sense of not feeling happy here and not feeling a great deal of joy. Some of you guys might not be going out enough. 4 of Swords, ones in the reverse, can be isolation as well, because you're not going out and enjoying yourself and being a part of a group, that type of thing. So I think that right now I'm seeing isolation here in the Hermit reverse, and also that 4 of Wands reverse. And therefore the most likely outcome, or the most likely the most likely outcome for what's blocking you from finding true love at the moment. Well, there you go, you've got the Star in the reverse. You lack faith. There's no faith in love anymore. A lot of you guys have given up on the idea of love because of what this fucker did, whoever that person is for you. It's because of what this fucker did. You've given up on love. Now coming in, you guys are going to experience, there you go, the Ace of Swords in the reverse as well. You're not, there's no change here. Ace of Swords reverse means several things. It means that you don't see things for what you're not. There's no mental breakthrough here. It can also mean that there's an ongoing pattern. So there's no change in a pattern of behaviour with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. The Ace of Swords in the reverse also represents stagnation when you get this card in the reverse showing up here. It also means a lack of communication with the Ace of Swords. But I think still what you're experiencing is the inability to see clearly with this Ace of Swords in the reverse. Things seem to stay the same because you haven't changed your thought patterns. Remember, swords represent the way that we think as well, our ideas. The sword in the upright means new ideas. In the reverse, your ideas tend to stay the same. So your ideas are staying the same. There's no change in your thought pattern here, and that's what's blocking you. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. That's what happens. I know it sounds shitty and almost to a point. Am I calling you Cancerians at all, Geminis? I hope to God, Gemini, I haven't called you Cancerians, because it isn't a Cancer reading, it's for Gemini. I hope I haven't called you that, because sometimes my mind goes blank and then I start saying something else. This is for Gemini, okay? So just know that if I've said Cancerians through the reading, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't. Gemini, it's for Gemini. But Gemini, here, there's no breakthrough, no clarity of thought, thinking the same old things over and over and over again. Now, how do past lovers or lovers see you? Well, they see you as the Ace of Coins. They see you as somebody quite stable, I think. Alright? Somebody who puts work in. Ace of Coins is a development card. So somebody who gives, somebody who's probably quite generous. I think that lovers see you, or ex-lovers see you as somebody who's quite giving, quite generous. With this Ace of Coins energy showing here. Somebody who's quite stable. Somebody who's looking for stability in their life, somebody who wants to propose stability, somebody who invests quite a bit in stability or finding that stability, or wants to invest in building stability for the future. So they see you as quite a stable and secure individual. This is how people see you, the Ace of Coins. What are your hopes, desires or fears, Gemini? I think really, you know, you can read the Two of Coins in a couple of ways. It's either to find balance. So it might be with the Two of Coins, the hope is to try and find some balance within your life. But the Two of Coins can also be seen as a 50-50 card. So it can also be seen as imbalance as well. The fear might be that, you know, you're going to be forever juggling, you know, people, never finding the true one. Because this is juggling a couple of options as well as the Two of Coins. So the fear might be, shit, what if I'm always juggling? What if I'm always juggling a couple of, you know, going from person to person and never finding the true one? the overall advice for how you remove the blockages that I can see in this reading. There you go, 8 of Swords in the reverse. No, is it 7 of Swords? No, it's 8 Swords. 8 of Swords reverse. You need to change your mindset, guys. 8 of Swords in the reverse means to free yourself of thoughts. It's a free, I mean, you can get 8 of Swords when you feel trapped in a situation. But but overall, this, you know, the 8 of Swords will always come back down to your thought patterns. You need to free yourself with the 8 of Swords in the reverse from your thinking. See here, the Ace of Swords is reverse. That tells you you're not seeing clearly. You've still got these old ways of thinking still happening. There's no ideas. There's no new ideas. There's no breakthrough in terms of clarity of thought. Ace of Swords in the reverse says you're still thinking the same old thoughts, and they're keeping you where you are. And the overall outcome for how you release yourself from these blockages into fine, you need to change your mindset. Now, I know that that's not an easy thing to do, Gemini, when you've been hurt. I get it, because I've been there. I mean, I've been with a lot of guys. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of guys, I would say, so, you know, the normal amount of men that a woman would be with, or a guy would be with, or, you know, whatever. Normal amount of partners that an average person would be with, I've been with. And every single one of the partners that I've had has had, I would say, wasn't, you know, I didn't gel with them as people. But I forgive them. There's no hatred towards any one of these men at all. Not in the least, no way. Because I take my portion of blame, you see, in those relationships that I had. So I don't, that's the thing with me, I never ever hold on to shit. It's no point, because all it's going to do is eat you up inside and then spit you out, and that person that hurt you is getting on with their life, you see, and you're still stuck in the doldrums with this old ideas bashing away at you. You know, imbalance here. You need to free yourself. That's what the cards are saying. It's saying you need to change your mindset. 8 of Swords reverse, change mindset. Alright, you change your thoughts, you change your life. That's the whole point of the 8 of Swords in the reverse. Change your thoughts. It's about releasing yourself. 8 of Swords reverse is how you free yourself. Free yourself from blocked energy. This is a blockage card. You've got blocked thoughts happening here. Consistent pattern, ongoing thought processes that are not serving you. This is blocked energy. You need to free that with the 8 of Swords in the reverse. I'm going to quickly just get a couple of clarifiers on some of these areas. Your challenge is, you guys, that you've isolated yourself, okay, in the challenge position. I want to see what this is about. You said that the challenge for Gemini is that they have done the Hermit reversed. What's this Hermit reversed about? It's about the Four of Wands, and it's in the upright now. So you've isolated yourself from finding happiness. Yeah. Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups. This is happiness and love. This is marriage. This is engagement. You know, this is all about love, is the Ace of Cups, and this is about finding happiness or finding a stable relationship. This is about a relationship, stability and new love. You've isolated yourself. You said, I'm never going to find this. I'm never going to find a partner that I'm going to be happy with in love. I'm never going to find a marriage that I'm going to be happy and joyous with in love. This is brilliant. These two cards together are amazing. This is the ultimate love affair. This is finding true happiness. This is finding your soulmate. This is finding marriage. This is finding engagement. This is children, you know. This is, Four of Wands is the ultimate brilliant love card, because it can be marriages that this card represents when you get it with cards like the Hierophant, Two of Cups, Hierophant, lovers. Especially when you get it with an official card like the Hierophant, you're looking at a marriage here. But this is the ultimate love affair here. And you guys, your challenge is you've isolated yourself from the idea that you're going to have this. You don't believe this. You don't believe that you're going to have this, because your challenge is the Hermit reverse. I don't believe that this, yeah, I think somebody did something to you, but I think that your challenge is this. But you see, here, when I do readings, I look at, well, we look at the present situation, but why have we got this right now? Well, the Temperance card in the reverse is how you're approaching love. You're approaching your love life from a place of imbalance, and as a result of that, you're starting to manifest right now these conditions. The Magician is a manifestation card, but the Magician is neutral. You can manifest things that are good, and you can, it's like the law of attraction. If you start to think negative thoughts, the Magician will manifest those things into being for you. So it's the disharmony that some of you guys feel here, you're starting to show with the Magician in the present. So things, whatever it is that you're doing here, and this is not a good card when it's reverse Temperance energy. If you're approaching love from a place of Temperance in the reverse, it's a type of imbalance. And as a result of that, you are experiencing the Magician manifestation of this imbalance is happening. Because the challenge for you is, and this is why you're manifesting whatever we're going to see what this Magician is about. What is it that they're manifesting right now? What is Gemini manifesting right now? Strength. Oh, that's interesting. So that's an interesting concept, because, but then strength can be blockages as well. Alright, because strength can be confidence, but it can also show as a blockage card. So blockage in receiving, I would say. I would call this blocks in receiving, because strength can see, you can see strength as a blockage card as well. So I think that you are blocked from receiving here, because Six of Pentacles is receiving and this is a blockage card. So your imbalance here with the Temperance card reversed is manifesting blockages in you receiving love, basically, with the Six of Coins showing there. There you go. Blocks in receiving a relationship, true love. The Lovers card showed up next. So that's why your blockage is in receiving true love with the Lovers energy. Because you are approaching your love life from a place of imbalance. And I think that this imbalance is all to do with your frustration. What's this Temperance card about? Reversed. What's this Temperance card about? Reversed in 2 cards. Right, the Eight of Wands is about messages, communication, change, movement. Changing emotions, I would say, because we've got the Queen of Cups showing here. Queen of Cups is all about your feelings, and the Eight of Wands is about changing feelings, or a release of feelings here. So I think that how you're approaching your love life is from a place of imbalance, but this is all about your feelings are changing. So you're going through a transition showing up here, I think, in the how you're approaching love. Because I'm not going to start, I'm reading this as an energy. So unless something really strikes out to me to be a person, I'll read it as a person, Gemini. But I'm not going to read cards as people unless I feel, because you don't always read court cards as people. Sometimes you'll read them as an energy. So the Eight of Wands is all about releasing. And the this is messages, yes, but this is also movement. Eight of Wands is all about movement. So sometimes this card will talk about release. So sometimes it depends on how you see the wands you see. See these wands here? Some tarot readers will read the wands as grounding. So they'll see the wand, think the wands are riding down to earth, they're grounding their energy. Some tarot readers will see the wands as going in this direction, which could be that they're going through the air. Okay, so I would probably look at that and think, well, there's a release happening here, and this is a release of feelings. So you guys are going through, I think you're approaching your love lives from a place of imbalance, because this is all about you trying to release a feeling here. Alright, if that makes sense, if you look really into it, this would be, sometimes when we're feeling very, very hurt, what we try and do is get rid of the feeling. We try and get rid of the person. We try and forget whoever it is that hurt us. And I think that you guys are trying to release your feelings on an individual. But you're coming to love, and this is why you're coming to love from a place of imbalance, because you might be trying to release or trying to forget whoever this person was in all of the wrong ways. So that could be anything. That might be saying, you know, I don't like this person. That might be saying, I hate what they did. This might be saying, well, you know, I'm never going to trust anyone again because of what they did. You might be trying to release your feelings about this person through a place of doing things in all of the wrong ways, or approaching this energy in the wrong way. Does that make sense to you? And as a result of that, you're experiencing the Magician. Things are starting to manifest in exactly what I think that you're speaking. I think this is self-talk in this area. And I think that as a result of that, what you're experiencing with this Magician is the manifestation of that self-talk. Because you might be communicating your feelings as well, because the Eight of Wands is all about communication. So you might be communicating your feelings with that Queen of Cups energy showing there. Okay, that you're going to move very slowly now with the Knight of Pentacles and be very cautious, or that you might be very cautious of anyone. Knight of Pentacles usually shows caution. Or this is somebody, when you get Pentacle cards, they want to build. So it might be, I'm very cautious of anyone that now wants to try and build a relationship with me, because the Knight of Coins is a builder. All Pentacles represent people that build, okay? So they've gone past the love stage and now they're saying, I want to build something with you. Let's try and make this work. Let's try and make this happen. Let's try and make some plans. I think that this is you guys communicating your feelings. And your communication of those feelings is about you guys saying, I'm going to be very, very cautious of anyone now that comes in and says, I want to build a relationship with me. And that's why you're approaching your love life from a place of imbalance. Because you're saying, I don't trust. This person here probably came to you at some point and they probably looked like you could trust them. They probably made you think you could trust them, but then you realise they were a fucker. Okay? So I think that you've been communicating your feelings to others and you've been saying, I'm going to be very wary. Nine of Wands often means to be wary as well. I'm going to be very, very wary of anyone that tells me they want to build a relationship with me again. And that's why you're approaching love from a place of an imbalance. Because as a result of those energy, what you're finding is that you're starting to manifest what it is that you're saying here, this caution, because there is now obstacles. It's all about there being obstacles in you receiving true love here, because you're saying, I don't trust in this area. Because your challenge is that you've isolated yourself. And what's the isolation about? From finding true love, happiness, joy, marriage, children, just finding complete and utter bliss within love. The Four of Wands is all about bliss. And the Ace of Cups is all about love. So finding bliss in true love. You've isolated yourself. I'm never, in these areas, it's saying to me, I'm never going to find love again. Forget it. I don't trust anyone. And even if somebody came to me and says, I want to build something with you, I'm never going to trust that again. Because the root issue is all about this King of Pentacles reverse. And what is it about this King of Pentacles in the reverse? What is it about this King of Pentacles reversed? Well, I think that this person withdrew, the Hermit. I think that they withdrew from working on this relationship. They stopped putting the work in. The Eight of Coins means to put work into a relationship, but the Hermit is pointing outwards. So I think this person withdrew, he turned his back. He or she turned their back on putting any type of work into this relationship. Okay? For you Geminis. So this is why they're showing us the King of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this person slowly left more than anything. Alright? I think that they withdrew from putting the work into this relationship with you. Alright? And probably pursued another individual. You've got the Knight of Wands looking into the heart, into the Queen of Wands energy showing here. So I think they withdrew. I think, number one, this person was probably a cheat. All Kings and Queens reverse can show cheaters or people who are third parties or people that leave. So this person here withdrew from putting any work into your relationship as they were pursuing Knight of Rods. They became very attracted and were pursuing another individual. Could have been an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, female or male, doesn't have to be. Queen of Wands is often a very, very beautiful, very attractive woman, very sexy, and she'd have encouraged this as well. Probably she didn't know that this person was seeing you, but this person withdrew from putting any work into you and decided they were going to pursue this Queen of Wands here. Now in the recent past, you guys have decided that you're going to put some work into yourselves. Probably, I want to see what that Three of Coins is about. What's this Three of Coins about? What's this Three of Coins about in the recent past for Gemini? The basis card is about work. Knight of Rods, success, achievement. Probably there could be something about new business, a new business venture, for example. So I think that you've been working in that. I think as a result of this, you guys have been putting your focus on your work. And the work is about, maybe this is something to do with a travel business for some of you guys. The Chariot is often about travel, and the Page of Pentacles can be a new business. Might be you're pursuing a new venture here, but I think it's something to do with work or money or something like that, a new venture. I think you've been placing your onus and putting a lot of work into a new business venture for some of you guys. Your significator card, you guys are showing as the Four of Wands reverse. Why is Gemini showing as being the Four of Wands reverse? Why are Geminis showing it as being the Four of Wands reverse? Right, the Six of Swords. So there might be something to do with travel here. And so this is all about you guys moving. You're changing. There's been a change of direction. This is regarding a new start, a fresh start. So starting something new. So this is about you guys seeking something new with this Magician energy. I think that the significator card shows with the Four of Wands in the reverse that your energy, I think that you're going through a time of instability here with the Four of Wands in the reverse, because I think that you are pursuing, and possibly there could be travel with this Six of Swords energy is about travel, and this is about something new. But I think that you're pursuing something new here. But I think that during this transition time, because both cards, Six of Swords and the Magician, mean change. So I think that the Six of Swords is a travel card. It could be that you're traveling and you're starting something new, for example, or it could be that you're pursuing. Six of Swords is pursuing this progress when you get cards like the Six of Swords. Pursuing something new could be to do with travelling, new venture. But I think that as a significator card with the Four of Wands, you guys are probably right now in a place of instability. You might have left a property or something like that with that Four of Wands in the reverse. You might have moved somewhere else, for example. But I think that, you know, right now, significator-wise, you guys are actually showing us with the Four of Wands in the reverse, being at a place of, you know, where nothing is completely stable in your life right now, because I'm seeing transitions happening here with this Six of Swords and the Magician. But that's fine, because I think that this is what you need. I think you need this distraction, whatever that card means for you guys here. But the most likely outcome for what's blocking you in finding true love is the Star in the reverse. You guys have given up. And what's this Star in the reverse about? What's this Star in the reverse about? Right, so the Five of Swords reverse, in the upright means to be hurt. Feeling hurt and rejected with the Seven of Rods. You've given up. So what's it about? Because you've been feeling hurt and rejected. So I think that what's blocking you is that you guys have given up on love. And you've given up on love because you've been hurt and rejected. Five of Swords means to be, well, both cards speak of being rejected. Five of Swords also shows up when you're being rejected. Certain cards within the tarot show rejection. Five of Swords is one, Four of Cups is another one, Seven of Rods is another rejection card. Both cards are saying that you've been hurt, but this is when you're being hurt because you've been cut. You're being hurt and rejected with the Seven of Rods. But this could also be about, with the the Five of Swords, that your lack of confidence means that you'll block anybody out. This is also feeling a lack of confidence with the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Rods can mean to block people out. So your lack of confidence means you block people out. So that could be why the blockage is the Star in the reverse. You've given up. You lack faith in any type of relationship right now, because this is all about your lack of confidence right now, or your hurt feelings with the Five of Swords means that you block out any potential suitors. Because when you get the Seven of Rods as well, can you see the Six Rods down here? This person says, fuck off. The Six Rods are saying, I'm really interested in you. And the guy with the Seventh Rod, Gemini, says, fuck off, I'm not interested. Piss off, man. Keep out. What do you want? I don't want you, man. I've been hurt. I'm down. I'm depressed. Fuck off. Do you see what I mean? So you lack any faith now with this Star. You're giving up because the situation is about you guys saying, I've been hurt. I've been hurt. No, I've been hurt. So you can now just fuck off. No, I'm not doing this no more. There's a real sense of, and here, even here, it's like communicating your feelings, because this is all about feelings, and the Eight of Wands can be communication, but this can also be release. So for some of you guys, it's communicating feelings, maybe to a friend, family member, or this could be, well, to release my feelings, you know what, I'm going to be very, very wary of who it is I let enter into my life. I'm going to be very wary. And also Knight of Coins, they can be people who are all about the sex, because it's a Virgo card, and usually when you get the sign of Virgo, sometimes in some astrological books, this person is all about the sex. So you're very wary of people that just want to have sex, you know, just want you for material purposes, or only interested in pursuing you for sexual purposes. And that's why you're approaching love from an imbalanced point of view. So the imbalance of the Temperance energy, Gemini is saying, well, I'm only looking at love in one way. I'm not looking at it in a balanced way. You're not looking at love in a very balanced way, are you? You're only looking at it from one perspective, because this person did this. This King of Pentacles in the reverse left and cheated. You know, withdrew from putting any effort or hard work into a relationship because they were running around and pursuing this Queen of Wands here. Coming in, you guys are going to experience the Ace of Swords in the reverse. And what's this Ace of Swords reversed about? What's this Ace of Swords reversed about? Well, the Ace of Coins is all about the start of commitment, or the start of something that you can build on with the Ace of Coins. It's about a grounded new beginning, okay, bringing victory. You can't see that, can you? You can't see that. You can't see that the potential of a commitment could bring victory. That making a grounded new start in your life could bring victory to you. Seeing things for what they are, Ace of Pentacles is about seeing things realistically. Could bring you victory, could bring you out of this situation. Could bring your confidence back as well. But you can't see that with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. People see you as the Ace of Pentacles. Why do ex-lovers or lovers of Gemini see them as the Ace of Pentacles in 2 cards? They see you as being very grounded, I think, very reliable, very honest, very upfront. There you are, you're Gemini. Knight of Swords. You're confident. Alright, so the Knight of Swords showing here. And the Devil. See, I would probably look at the Knight of Swords and think that this person is pursuing. But they're riding out of the Devil. You see. I do tarot interaction, so I look at where the cards are facing. The Devil is all about abuse and about bondage. I'm just looking at this Knight of Swords rushing out of that Devil energy. Because this can be the pursuit. Sometimes this is the pursuit of material things. Pursuit of, you know, temptation, for example. But I think that looking at this card, he's rushing out of the Devil. He's not even rushing into it. Can you see? But even if this card had faced this way, I would have seen this person as being very aggressive. I look at the faces on the cards and he looks like he's about to fight the Devil. It looks like it's about to go into that Devil and basically take its sword and rip its head off. I don't like these 2 cards together. I kind of like them because this card here looks like he's not going to put up with any bullshit from this card here. If you look at the 2 together, I'm not going to read the meanings together. I'm going to look at the cards together, and I'm just looking at this Knight of Swords. And if I were to look at these 2 cards together, he looks like he's about to kill the Devil when he's in this position. He's charging at this thing. He's looking to break down this Devil. He's looking to cut out any type of negative energy in this relationship. But instead, this person's exiting it. It's got its back turned to the Devil. There's a lack of interest in negative or in relationships that are toxic or difficult. I'm not going to read them together because I think as energies together, they're probably not very good if we combine the meanings of both cards. So I look at the energies rushing out, because you're seen as being the salt of the earth, a very grounded individual. I think it is that you don't put up with toxic situations here, okay? I think that you're not putting up with, I think that people see you as somebody who's very grounded, very sensible, very honest. Because I think with you being the Knight of Swords here, Gemini, you are on a, just going to see where the card is facing. What's this Knight of Swords facing towards? Give me a card in front of the Knight of Swords. What are Geminis pursuing here? You've got your back turned to that Devil. You're pursuing balance. What you're looking for is balance, I think. But even then, you're quite aggressively looking over at that 2 of Coins showing here. I think it's not even pursuing balance, because wherever I look at that Knight of Swords, he's got his sword up. If you look what he's ready to do, he's ready to use the sword. Swords are used as cutting tools. So I think that really what you're looking at here, Gemini, is you guys are looking to cut through. This is what you're showing as the Ace of Coins. Somebody who's grounded, somebody who's sensible, somebody who's looking for a commitment with the Ace of Coins and is ready for a commitment. You're ready to give a commitment to someone. I think this is why your lovers see you like that. Because you can cut through the bullshit of somebody who juggles 2 things. So if you've got lovers that juggle maybe you and somebody else, or somebody who's always saying, I'm really busy, you're more than likely, as this Knight of Swords, going to cut through that bullshit of the 2 of Coins. Because you're not interested in relationships with the Devil energy that are toxic, abusive, or difficult. You're not interested in being in bondage. You want to free yourself from any bondage by cutting through the 2 of Coins. Cutting through the bullshit of relationships, imbalances. relationships that are juggled. You want something that is centered, that is normal, and that is stable. And this is why I think people see you as the Ace of Coins. Your lovers do, because you're looking for stability in relationships. Hopes or fears, the Two of Coins. Why is Gemini's hopes or fears the Two of Coins? Show me. Page of Swords can be arguments in relationships, but it can also be, with the Page of Swords energy, learning how to communicate. Well, look at that. You've got this Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Sometimes this is somebody's words can keep you blocked from moving forward, keep you limited. Depends on how you want to see that Page of Swords. If I were to look at both cards together, it depends on how you want to look at it. Does the Page of Swords look like it wants to cut this person through? It does have a sword again. It looks like it's about to cut through this. I think the hope's really with this Two of Coins, and I think it's a hope. I think it is to try and find some balance. To try and balance out a situation. Balance yourself out, I think, with this Two of Coins energy. Because the Two of Coins is all about finding balance. And it's about your ideas. Because the swords are about ideas. So the Page of Swords, through developing new ideas, can cut through the old ones that are keeping you held back. So it really is to find balance. But the balance with the Two of Coins, we get the clarifiers and we say, well, what's the balance about? If it was money cards that show, it might be about something material, but it's idea cards, swords. So it is to find balance, and that balance is about new ideas. Page of Swords, new ideas that can help you. Can you see how the sword is about to cut through? Can you see he's ready to take the sword to cut through the rope? So it's all about freeing yourself through new ideas, I think, here. I think it's the hope is to find balance through freeing yourself. And that freeing yourself, even though this isn't reversed, I think we could treat this as a reversal here, knowing that the Page of Swords, the idea that it holds here, it's ready to cut through the Eight of Swords here. It's ready to cut through. You're ready to cut through those blockages. So new ideas, releasing blockages. Okay, new ideas in terms of the blockages that you hold. Because you're blocked from new ideas here as well. Or it could be your ideas are bringing blockages to you. So the Page of Swords here, you are the ones going to cut through those blockages, or it's these ideas here, or young ideas, or immature thoughts with the Page of Swords energy, bringing blockages, because you've got the blockage card after the Page of Swords. So I think it's new ideas, or immature, because remember the Page of Swords can also, because he's starting to develop ideas, so they can be seen as young ideas. Immature ideas bring in blockages. So I think the hope with the Two of Coins is really just to find some form of balance if you can, because I think it's all about your ideas, the ideas that you have here. And I think this Page of Swords is very similar to this Ace of Swords in the reverse. This is old, outdated ideas, and I would use that in terms of this Page of Swords now, because it's a young idea or an immature idea. Okay, you haven't grown, some of you guys, in the way that you think, and it's bringing blockages in. And I think that you would hope with the Two of Coins that you could get some balance, because these old ideas or immature ideas are blocking you from being happy. They're blocking you from having a relationship. The next card that showed up was the Two of Cups. I think it's these immature ideas that some of you guys have with the Page of Swords, blocking you, Eight of Swords, from having true love with the Two of Cups. So a lot of this reading is all about the ideas that you've got, Gemini. It's the way that you're thinking. That's what's blocking you. It's your thought processes that are blocking you from having true love. The overall outcome, how do you release these blockages? Eight of Swords in the reverse. What's the Eight of Swords in the reverse about? What's the Eight of Swords in the reverse about? What's the Eight of Swords in the reverse about? The Nine of Swords, that's worry. Long-term relationship. Or building a long-term relationship. So there's worry here. So this is all about you freeing these blockages. And these blockages would be about you worrying about finding a long-term relationship. Or maybe worried about building a relationship, showing here. You might be worrying about being on your own, because a long-term relationship came to an end with the Death card showing it. But he's saying you need to release these. energies. It also might be that you feel guilt. Nine of Swords is a card about guilt because a long-term relationship came to an end. Ten of Pentacles is long-term, stable, secure relationship, and the Death card, it's come at an end. This is an end. And I think here as well, an ex-lover might see you as somebody who's very stable. Ace of Pentacles, very honest. Somebody who wants to build a long-term relationship. Maybe there's been drama as well. Maybe you had an argument. Maybe you attacked, not attacked, but verbally attacked a player who was keeping you with this devil energy, bound to the relationship. Because you're the Knight of Swords, you're Gemini, but the Gemini is attacking whatever it's looking at. Can you see how he rides out? Wherever he looks with that sword, he looks like he's about to kill it. So it might be that there was some abuse here. Not necessarily your abuse, but you might have argued with a player. Two of Pentacles is a player card as well, somebody who's juggling two relationships. So you might have argued with a player here. In order to release, I think as well, because you've got your back turned to that devil, in order to release this bondage, you might have argued. You might have made your point of view very forcefully known to this player that you weren't interested in being in a toxic relationship because the back is turned to the devil. You're not interested in that. And you wouldn't even be interested in that. That don't mend very well anyway in this particular deck of cards. You wouldn't be interested in that if you were there, and you're certainly not interested in it because you're here, because you've got your back turned to the devil. So there's no interest in being enslaved to this person. And that's why you have been very, very, very upfront with this player. You're saying, look, I'm not interested in being enslaved to this bullshit relationship, you know. And that's why you're seen as being the salt of the earth, because you stand by what you say. You're a great believer in what you say here. So what's the matter, Gemini? Because you're showing us the best place in this reading that you show as is here. The two places that you show as great are here and here. Because you're dedicated to your work here. You've been focusing on your work. Maybe for some of you guys, your businesses, that type of thing. And here, you don't take any bullshit. You're not taking bullshit. So what's wrong? You don't take bullshit here. You know exactly what it is that you need to put your focus on here. So what the fuck is going on with everything else? Because we're going to quickly do this reading again. This is what's blocking you from finding true love. It's your thought patterns that are blocking you, clearly, I think, in this reading. Right now, you guys are approaching love from a very imbalanced position. You're only seeing things in one way. Some of you guys are communicating your feelings. Maybe it's to a friend. Maybe you're communicating with a counsellor here. Queen of Cups can be a counsellor. Communication, lots of communication with a counsellor maybe, but you're very wary of people who are only out for sex, for example, Knight of Pentacles, or people who tell you they want to build a relationship. Some of you guys may be releasing your feelings. Feelings could be of anger with that Queen of Pentacles with another card. And how you do that is by being very wary of people who say they want to build a relationship with you, or people who are only after the one thing. But you're looking at things in a one-way street here. Because as a result of that, what you're finding is things are manifesting around you. And what's manifesting is blockages with the strength energy in you receiving with the Six of Coins, true love with the Lover's card. Because your challenge is the Hermit reverse. Through the way that some of you guys have been treated, through the hurt that you've experienced, okay, you've isolated yourself. And you've isolated yourself from the idea that you can have true love. Because the root issue is, you had a liar and a cheat around you. Somebody who left. They withdrew from putting any type of work into this relationship. They weren't serious enough about it and decided that they were going to chase down another individual, that Knight of Wands looking into the Queen. So in the recent past, you guys say, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to just concentrate on my work. Three of Coins. I'm just going to concentrate on my work because, you know, I'm actually pursuing some new ventures here. Might be some travel involved as well for some of you guys. And as a significator, you're finding yourself probably not at home a lot as well with the Four of Wands in the reverse. Maybe this is why you're reversed as a Four of Wands. Significator card, I think that you're finding yourself trying to starting to develop maybe new ventures and stuff like that because you're doing some travelling. okay, possibly to do with new ventures with this magician, but also I think that you are moving on through the magician energy, through starting new things, new creative ventures, new projects with that magician energy. And therefore, what is blocking you from finding true love is that you've just given up on it. All this hurt that you've experienced with the Five of Swords has made you incredibly defensive with the Seven of Wands. Coming in though, you still can't see the wood for the trees, can you? You've still got those old patterns, those old ways of thinking. You've still got blocked ideas, blocked thoughts, and those blockages are about commitments. Potential for a commitment bringing victory, bringing the one with a soulmate. So you're blocked off from that. You don't believe it's going to happen. But people see you as being very grounded energy, Gemini. People see you, your exes see you as being someone who is, you know, very, very responsible, somebody who's dedicated, somebody who's honest, and somebody who's loyal. Somebody who wants a long-term relationship. Because you said, I'm not interested in having some fucked up relationship with you. And you've really said, you said, look, I'm laying my cards on the table. No more of your playing up bullshit. I'm not interested in this player. So I'm going to attack you on this. I'm going to call you out for you being a fucking player. Because I'm not interested in you holding me ransom to this relationship. So you're playing bullshit. And you knew it because they did what they did here. They weren't putting the work in because they were looking at somebody else. And you called them out on it here. So they know that you mean business. They see you as a very realistic and a very honest individual. Somebody who really does want to settle down. You're not willing to put up with this shit. The hopes are to try and find balance. But this is balancing thinking. Because the hopes of trying to find balance is your ideas are keeping you blocked from finding true love. So you need to balance that out, and you know it. The overall outcome for how you find true love and remove these blockages is change your mindset. Because it's all about you guys being worried that a long-term relationship is going to end. You're never going to find what you want. Never going to find what you want. You need to release those blockages. The way that you're thinking, Gemini, is not good. Your thinking process isn't good, sweethearts, okay? You need to change your mindset if you want to find true love. What's the advice card? And that's what's blocking you. Angel answers. Let's go to this deck here. It's true. Change your mindset, change your life. Simple as that. Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have for Geminis on this reading? What is the advice that you have for Gemini on this reading? Show me. It's telling you to look for a sign. Look for a sign, because the universe will send you signs that are going to help you move forward. You're a strong character, Gemini. You can see how strong you guys are. You're here and here. Your strength is here. You know exactly what you want in these areas. And yet when you go to bed at night and when you're working, you're saying no more relationships. You're saying it to your counsellor. You're saying it to your friends. You're trying to release your true emotions by saying, nah, you know, actually, I'm just going to be very wary. You don't trust. You're imbalancing your thinking. And yet you show as being very strong in these areas. Look for a sign. The universe will give you a sign. Look for a sign, because there will be big happy changes coming in for you, okay? And you need to take action in the near future, alright? But take action in the way that you think. Because you're good with everything else. You're really strong, Gems. You really, really are. But I think you've been hurt, quite damaged by an individual that's put up this kind of wall and you don't trust. You need to find ways to let that go. This is all about letting go. There's something you really do need to let go of because you're blocking yourself from having something true come in. Don't let one person spoil it for you. They're only one person. Not everybody's going to be the same. Alright, that's your reading, my darlings. Love you loads. Your general and your love reading is next door. See you soon. Bye-bye.